Good morning, YouTube. We're out in the garden and I have some chores to do, mainly pruning my pepper plants. So without further delay, let's get to it. So we're here at my bell pepper plants, and I have this little small one here that I'm going to harvest that I actually allowed to ripen on the plant. It's red. So before we do any pruning, we're going to harvest what we can and then do the pruning. Now this plant, well, these plants rather, these plants are loaded with blooms and a lot of fruit in some places. They have been through a lot with the storms and heavy rains, and they have survived. So I'm not really inclined to remove them per se. I am going to prune them and put cages, or try to put cages around them so that they can be saved. Now, these are the bell peppers that we got off of the plants. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my shears, or pruners rather. I'm going to wipe them off with alcohol and we're going to do some pruning. Okay, here are the results of my pruning. Wasn't able to film it. My battery in the GoPro died. So, and I didn't realize it until I got back inside to edit it. So we're back out and here is the finished product. So there were actually 6 plants in here and they were planted kind of close together. So it is in the plant's best interest that I went ahead and did the pruning. Now, it's kind of difficult to get them to stand completely up since they've been leaning on each other and leaning on the raised bed for so long. So what I did was found some long limbs and stuck that down into the soil and tied them to the soil, and then also put tall tomato cages around them. Now, eventually, I envisioned the plants to get over the shock of it and then start growing again. Now, here are some tips if you're going to do the pruning. Prune when the growing season, during the growing season when needed, and more heavily in the fall to encourage ripening of your peppers. You heard me mention before that I took alcohol and wiped off my shears. You have to make sure that you do that because you don't want any infection or bacteria or disease to get into the plant. You remove the side shoots from the main stem, leaving only flowers and fruit. You can break off the side shoots by hand or use shears like I did. You want to also always cut above a leaf node. Remove some of the leaves, which is what I did. I'll show you what I removed in a minute. Now, overall, the plant is going to, these plants will grow back and be healthy. I didn't want to remove them, and then later on in the spring start all over again. Okay, these are some of the limbs that I removed from the plants. And I also went ahead and did some pruning on my other pepper plants. I'll show you that in a minute, as well as. So here at my Scotch bonnets and longhorn peppers, I trimmed some of the limbs back on these as well. And they look good. Now, as far as the harvest that I was speaking of, this is what we got. And as you can tell, there were a lot, and it was unexpected, but I'm grateful for it. So I want to thank you for coming along with me while I showed you how I prune my pepper plants. And I hope you got something out of it. It was a necessary step. These plants have been through a lot, really bad thunderstorms, a severe hurricane, wind damage, and they were blown over one way and then the reverse of that. So they've been through a lot. They're very resilient, and I didn't want to get rid of them. And in order to keep them, they needed to be pruned. I hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, take a moment to consider doing so. I can grow a great amount of vegetables by myself, but I can't grow the channel without your help. If you do decide to subscribe, don't forget to hit the like button and the notification bell all, so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. Chances are, if you like my video, your family and friends will also. Until next time, always remember to give the thanks to God, for without Him, we are nothing. Until next time, take care.